Good afternoon, everybody. So I just wanted to show off a little bit. This is a set of cards that I ordered from makeplayingcards.com. I've used them before to print customized playing cards, regular poker playing cards with customized backs for my friend Master Gunnery Sergeant Constance Hines. I had a picture of her, I put some text on it, and I made her basically her own personalized deck of cards because we used to play spades in Afghanistan, and I wanted to give her that when she retired. So I had an idea for a set of playing cards, for a set of cards for D&D that would allow people to create random backstories for their characters. For those who play D&D, you know that you have a race, you have a class, and now in 5th edition you have a background, which all give mechanical things to your character, pluses and minuses, special abilities, and stuff like that. But what was lacking, at least before some of the follow-on books came out, was just the details of who is this character. You know, where were they born? What were their parents like? Where did they come from? What turned them into a hero? So I came up with the idea of kind of a set of tarot cards, like tarot cards, that you play out, and they tell you what your character's backstory is like, or at least gives you a suggestion for your character's backstory. So I got the box, came all the way from China, shipped FedEx. There was a little difficulty getting it here because FedEx didn't tell me that you can have a virtual signature to sign for a box, but not unless it's international. If it's international, then they have to, a physical person has to sign it up. So I had to deliver to a Walgreens and I picked it up. So inside the box, it's got some nice packing material, which is good. And here are the boxes, each individually packed with its own box, and these are vacuum sealed. I bought 10 total, and the more you buy, the cheaper they get. If I'd gone up to like more than 15, I think I would have saved about 5 or 6 more bucks per deck overall. You know, so you start getting into the hundreds of these things, and they just keep getting cheaper. So take off the vacuum sealing. Got my box knife, which is closed now. Get this plastic off of here, and these are they're standard poker-sized cards. And when the final version, they'll have a little instruction manual in them, and there'll be some design on the box itself. And I worked with these with my friend Tim Joseph. He helped me with the layout and the graphics and everything like that. So here they are. These are the front sides. I'm just taking a small selection here. And these are the backs. And you can see it's got nice design on it. It's very well printed. They're good, sturdy, standard poker cards. So I originally did a deck in tarot size because tarot, and I didn't like them because they were too big and you can't shuffle them. And the point of this thing is random, and I like the poker size much better. Plus, these have some other updates to what I've done. I've been slowly updating the cards and the concept and the writing. There were some spelling errors and things like that. But the way these cards are meant to be used is so you have your character, or maybe not, maybe you haven't even designed a character yet, and you want their backstory. Who are they? Where are they from? And I got to get a good shuffle because these are straight out the box. So there's 6 different categories of card, and you got to mix them up really good to make sure that you get a nice mix. And in the future, I hope to add custom categories like magic categories or alien categories or even racial categories or even for certain classes, you know, what might lend to a barbarian, what might lend to a ranger, things like that. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. And then I'll get one more side shuffle. Okay, so the way these work is you flip over about 5 of them is kind of my current going, and they only face one direction, unlike tarot cards, which can face up or down or sideways and all like that. These all just face up one direction because they have writing on them. Okay, these were all, hold on, one show. Let's swap out this one for this one. So some of the cards just have one title on them and some basic information. So this is a change card, and it says you're worldly. You had a widely traveled friend or family member who told you all manner of stories about their journeys. Through them, you either learn details about a specific culture or you know many odds and ends about various people in your life. So this could be an eccentric uncle or a wizened old grandfather, or maybe just some guy you met in your at work who just told you a lot about some far off land, and that either emboldened you to go out and explore or it gave you that inherent knowledge. So if somebody says, hey, you know anything about tieflings? You go, oh yeah, I knew a tiefling and he told me this kind of stuff. So that's that's the basics of what the card gives you. Just a little bit of details about something your character knows. Now, most of the cards have a chart on them. So this is a romance card, and it says that to love and to be loved is the greatest adventure. But we have 10 different options here. Okay, so you can either pick one of those options, or you could play another card, and notice the backs have different numbers on them. So you can use that as a random number generator without having to flip over another card. And it tells you 5, you had a wild love affair. Okay, so you know something about the world through a friend, and you had a wild love affair. Kidnapped, you were taken and held for a time. And we'll flip another random card. That is a 9. You were taken on a long journey. Okay, interesting. Oops, kidnapped stays there. Friends, you have or had a group of friends or a companion. Random card. This is a 6. A bitter rival became a friend. So that could have been something from childhood, a very young bitter rival, or maybe in your teens. Who knows? And the last, we have the shindig. Your family threw you a big party. And we go with number 1. You received a noble title. So right off the bat, we got quite a backstory for this character. When they were maybe 10, 11 years old, whatever, it's up to you, they received a noble title at a big party thrown by their parents, which had positive effects on their life. That's a benefit card. You have a rival who became a good friend. Maybe this was because of your noble title, maybe in spite of it. That was kind of had a neutral effect on your life. That was a change card. Some trouble happened. You were kidnapped. Maybe the kidnapping happened before you knew about your title, and that was kind of the reward. Or maybe you were kidnapped after your title because these people wanted to gain something from your kidnapping. They were going to ransom you. Okay. Then the romance, you had a wild love affair, again, before or after the kidnapping. This could have been a teenage hot love affair. Wherever this long travel that you took, that could have led to this love affair. A bitter rival that becomes a friend. Maybe the person who kidnapped you, you guys fell in love, so that could be interesting. And then maybe this worldly came from that person. You could maybe you guys are still together, or you married them, or they died horribly. Who knows? So that's the basics. Sometimes you use that information to just design your character's backstory. And again, it's all optional. Nothing is stuck in stone. You can do it if you want. If you didn't like the worldly card, you know what? Just draw another one. And here we've got the location card. So you were born in an interesting place. And we flip another number. That's a 6. And we've got a prison. You were born in a prison, but you're of noble birth. So that's very interesting. So that's the basics of the card. They're used for creating backstories for characters or NPCs, anybody you want. Morgan Rich says, what a creative idea for generating fiction characters. I can also see these being used for specific scenes in plot generation. That's true. Also, the other way I consider using them is for the GM. They can pretty much keep the deck next to them during the game at all times. And you meet a peddler on the road, an old man, and you can immediately flip one of these over, and turns out he's a celebrity, right? Or maybe he knows a celebrity. Okay, so but again, it gets your brain going. Additionally, for the GM or DM, the back of each card has 2 different icons. So this icon is a weather icon, okay? And on the front, it tells you what that icon means. This is lightning, okay? And then if you flip it, this one is a forest, okay? So what the GM can use is, say the party just came out of a cavern, and what's the weather like? Oh, well, you come right into a thunderstorm, okay? Or you travel to a mysterious island, and as soon as you make beach, you notice a town in the distance, okay? And again, it's just another random thing for the GM to help with generation. Lastly, is on the back of each card there is a plus, a minus, or an equal. And this can be used for any number of things, but mainly, again, for NPC personality reasoning. You know, are they positive towards you? Do they like you, or do they not like you, or are they neutral? Okay. Additionally, I forgot about this. Each card on the front has a positive, minus, or an equal, and that's kind of like how did this thing affect your life? You're growing up. This had a negative effect growing up. A despot villain caused great pain to you and your family. Okay, so that had a negative influence on your life. That's a negative. Positive. Oh, that's the celebrity. Oh, so we already talked about the celebrity. So you know that that had a positive effect on your life. So here, the runaway we notice is a question mark. So did it have a positive effect or a negative effect or no effect? We don't know. So just like with the numbers, we flip another random card, and on the back we've got an equals. So that runaway incident didn't have a positive effect or a negative effect on your life. It was actually kind of neutral, and you can go with however that. And if you didn't like that, then you say I want this runaway event to have a negative effect, and that's your choice. Everything's up to you. You can also use a 10-sided dice to roll for the charts, or you can just pick from the charts, or you can make up your own. So this one example is the hard time card, and it just says you did some time in jail. So you can make up your own story for being in jail, or you can use these suggestions as a primer. You escaped from incarceration, or you were released early for good behavior. Maybe you served on a chain gang. You were sold into slavery, or maybe you even served in the prison mafia. Again, all suggestions. And that's pretty much it. A lot of tools all packed into one set of cards. And my hope is to actually expand on them with updates. With further categories, like I said, a magic category, an alien category, maybe racial categories. Even expanding on these, and then you can build your own background deck, for your particular setting, or for the particular type of character you're trying to build. You may want the elf category, and then you want some trouble, and then you want some change, and a life category, and then maybe the ranger category or the magic category, depending on what you're up to. So that's the idea. I just thought I'd show that off, and thank you for watching, and happy gaming.